Give Coach Sark and his staff and team a lot of credit. It's a very good team. A lot of respect for the way he goes about his business, and he's got an unbelievable reputation in the coaching community. And his team played very, very hard today. And it was a very well fought battle, and they're a very good team. Had a great season. It came down to the fourth quarter, and I believe that the resilience that we've had to show throughout the entire season and through some of these guys' career has led us to this opportunity to win this game and go play for a national championship. And we talked before the game about how do you leave a legacy is, to become your own legend. And there's some guys on this team today that, and I believe, will become legends in Ohio State history. And we also talked about how we want to keep this team together. It's a great team. They've been through a lot. They're resilient, and they're great people. They do everything the right way. And so now they get 10 more days together and an opportunity to tell their story if they go win one more. And so that's really exciting. But going back on the game, just gritty, tough. We knew it was going to be that way. Very good opponent, and just the way that we were able to change the momentum in the game in the fourth quarter, and then balls all the way down to the 1 yard line. We get a stop there, get our pads down, knock it back, and then they go to the perimeter with it, and really great play for a TFL, and then the third down stop, and then obviously what happened on fourth down by Jack just symbolizes not only his career but our team in general and who they are and the toughness, and just the clutch play right there was something that I'm sure the whole city of Columbus exploded in all Buckeye Nation during that play.
Okay, Coach, thank you so much. Okay, let's go to questions for our two student athletes, and then we will come back for Coach toward the end. First question, let's go on the front row on the extreme left side.
For both student athletes, Will, just to get into that fourth down when you decided to keep it and help to establish a first down that led to the touchdown, and then Jack, just what you can say about the strip sack and the return.
Yeah, that fourth down was huge, man, and they came out and gave us a good look for the play, and O-line blocked it up well, and I fell on purpose. I'm joking, I didn't fall on purpose. I should have been out. It should have been a dang touchdown, but I was trying to keep a couple seconds on the clock. No, I'm joking, but it was a great play and a statement drive. We needed that. We've been beating ourselves all day with penalties and just getting behind the sticks, and that was a statement drive, man. And the O-line did a heck of a job on that drive, and I think guys stepped up and made plays, and obviously what the defense did on the next drive sealed it. But they bailed us out all game, and I can't say enough good things about this guy sitting next to me and about our whole defense, because they played their tails off today.
Yeah, Coach has put us in great spots all game long, and like Coach Day said, that's a really good football team that we just played, and hats go off to them, Coach Sark and Quinn. They're a great team, and they'll be back here, I'm sure, for the next couple of years. And God is great. He put me in a great position to make a play, and I was fortunate enough to do that. And the resiliency of this team, from a month ago, and it's been incredible, and it's been led by guys like these two men sitting next to me, and the whole team embodies that role because our leader is like that. I've said it a million times, but man, we sat up here last year, with a sore taste in our mouth and heard a lot of things, and come back and heard the same things a month ago, and we kept swinging because this guy next to us, he shows up every day to work, and he loves each and every one of us so much, and he's the most resilient guy I've ever been around, and that's the reason why you see this team fight so hard each and every week.
Okay, on the front here on the right side.
Jack, how special was it, especially for you as a local guy, a Pickerington guy? Could you walk us through what you saw in that play and what you were feeling as you're running down the sideline?
Shit, I guess just don't fall like Will did. No, I'm joking. I'm kidding. But no, seriously, I hit about hit about the 30, and I look back. I'm like, I hope I got some blockers. I'm running out of steam here. And they were running with me side by side, and man, that just speaks volumes to who this team is too. We always have each other's back, and it was a special moment. I love Columbus. I love the state of Ohio, and I love Ohio State football. And man, like I said a million times after the game, God is great, and He's put this team in such a great spot, and I'm just so fortunate to be playing in the national championship my last year here.
Okay, front row, left side.
AP Stedham of AP as we see it. Jack, I just wanted to ask, when you watched Texas on film, everything kind of went to the left, primarily with the pass and the run. Did you anticipate that? Did you see that, Coach?
You know, I just think that, you know, they're a great team and they got great scheme. And, you know, I give Coach Knowles and Coach Day a lot of credit for the way they schemed them up. And, you know, they made a lot of big plays, too. They punched us in the mouth a lot of times throughout the game. And, like I said, you know, they're a great team. And, you know, we knew they had a lot of good stuff and they were going to land some punches as well. And the team who executed the most and, you know, prepared the best into the game was going to win. And we were fortunate enough to execute.
Let's go toward the back on the aisle.
Coach Day, this is for you.
Well, one more question for the student athletes.
Okay. You know, so Will, I'm curious. You know, what do you kind of feel like Texas did well to take away Jeremiah, and how important was it for you guys, for Emeka and for Carnell, to step up in that place?
Yeah, we knew that they were going to be key in him. You know, obviously the first 2 rounds of the playoffs, I mean, he went off. So, you know, we knew that they were going to do something to try and take him away. And they were, you know, they clouded him, they doubled him, they were finding different ways to you know, to get 2 guys over top of him. But, you know, all that means is that, you know, we need to be smart and get the ball to other guys. And, you know, I think Carnell stepped up, made some great plays. You know, the running backs did a great job. Tight ends had some great catches. And, you know, I think Texas, you know, what they do on defense, they like to keep a shell on things, make you work the game and get the ball down the field methodically. You know, and I think they, you know, credit to them, man. They got a great defense and they got some dudes. You know, but when it came down to it in the fourth quarter, man, we did what we had to do, and the defense did a hell of a job.
We're going to bring Coach back in now, so all 3 people on stage are eligible for questions. Next one will be on the left, second row.
Yeah, Jake Trotter with ESPN. Jack, Coach Day was talking about leaving a legacy. You know, how does it feel to deliver what figures to be one of the iconic plays in Ohio State history?
You know, I'm just so thankful to be able to play for, you know, this coach and this team each and every week. And, you know, we get 10 more days with each other, and that's what means the most to me is we're going to competing for a national championship now, which is something I've always dreamed of bringing back to Columbus since I was a little kid, you know, throwing the football in the backyard with my dad with an Ohio State jersey on. So, you know, I'm just really looking forward to that. And I was fortunate to, you know, make a big-time play, and like a lot of guys did and like this guy did all night long, you know, responding from adversity throughout the game too. And this guy, you know, this guy right here sitting next to me is such a good leader for this team, and he runs the show on offense. And I'm just so proud of the way he played and the offense played and battled through adversity all game long and all year long. So we got a good challenge in Notre Dame. It's a great team, and that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Okay, let's swing back to the right, third row.
For Jack, Chris Vanini from The Athletic. You and Quinn Ewers used to be roommates. You and him embraced after the game. Curious what you guys said to each other.
Yeah, I mean, he just, you know, I just said, you know, great season. You know, he's a good guy. He's a great dude, and you know, he was my roommate here, and he's had a lot of success, and he's a great person, you know. And I just told him, you know, keep your head up. You played a great game, and you got a great future ahead of you, and you know, stay in touch sometime soon. And you know, shout out to Texas. You know, like me and Will have said, and Coach Dave said, they're a great team and great group of coaches around on that staff, and you know, they punched us hard a few times, and it was a battle all the way to the fourth quarter, like we knew it would.
Remember, Coach is back into the mix. Left side, second row.
This question is for Coach Day, Andre Johnson, making headline news, Dallas. Coach, let's go back to that Michigan game where, after that game, the Michigan players stormed the field and attempted to put the flag in the middle of the field. What did you say to your team after that disheartening loss, and do you think that was a turning point in the season?
Well, I think when you look at the guys that we have in our program, you see guys who are tough. You see guys who are resilient. And you see guys that care about each other. You see guys that love being Buckeyes. You're seeing 2 of them right here. Both guys here have 2 different stories. One just got here. But like when I see him get around our team, when I saw him on stage tonight, when I saw him embracing everybody in the locker room, Like, this guy loves his teammates. He's only been here a year, but in such a short period of time, he has made such an amazing impact on our team. He's made an impact on me. There's times where, like, I'm coming to work and, you know, who knows, maybe I'm down, maybe I'm stressed, maybe I'm whatever. And this guy, he picks me up. He has an amazing approach on life. And I told his parents that. Like, they've done a great job with him, but he's also done it himself. Like, the positive mindset that he has. And we lost Seth McLaughlin in practice, and it was a really tough loss for us. Seth was doing a great job, and he and Seth had a great relationship. And that practice showed me some of the best leadership I've ever seen, and resilience. And then the guy over there, I don't know if there's, I mean, sure, you know, we can argue about, I'm sure, who loves being a Buckeye more, but this is somebody who grew up in Columbus, who has always wanted to be a Buckeye, who's always wanted for a moment like this. So to see him get the moment that he had today, I mean, and he's become like family to me. He has, to me and my wife and my kids. And so this is just two guys, Emeka Buka, Travion Henderson, Cody Simon. I mean, I could go through Lathan Ransom. I mean, Donovan Jackson. Like, the story of this team is yet to be told. And no great accomplishments are ever achieved without going through adversity. That's just the truth. And so we've gone through our share of adversity, and that's life. And I've told those guys that. So we're not focused on what's coming down the road. We're not focused on what happened in the past. We're focused on right now and being right where we are. And then at the end, you know, we want to be able to tell the story of this team. And that's really what this team's focused on right now.
Halfway back on the aisle.
This is for Coach Day, Ari Wasserman with On3. You just mentioned just now about how these two guys here have different stories and different paths. Your entire roster in this new world of college football is assembled from a national coast-to-coast level. But I'm just wondering, when Jack is sitting here talking about playing football with his dad wearing an Ohio State jersey in his front yard, and I assume Pickerington, how does that move you? Because you've been, you know, questioned and criticized and, you know, at times for not being from Ohio, because that's been an expectation for Ohio State's coach. For somebody who is from Ohio and has become family to you, to hear that, to see what does it mean to this program, to you, to have an Ohio kid who's been through the ringer at times during his career have that moment that he had?
Yeah, I couldn't be prouder. Couldn't be prouder of, you know, I just love stories of guys who go through difficult times, stay loyal, defend the people they love the most, and then come out the back end. I mean, I just love that in life. That's why, you know, Maurice Claret's with us in around the program now. Like, I love guys who go through difficult times, stay strong, defend who they love, and then come out the back end. And you got one right there with this guy right here. This guy was never stronger than when we needed him the most during difficult times. And we've been through difficult times together. That's how you know. How do you know about someone's character? When you go through tough times with them. Everything's easy when things are going well. Everyone can be a front runner. And so, you know, I think we talk about those things because, you know, our story has been, you know, the last couple of years has been, you know, ups and downs. But to see the team play the way that they did in the fourth quarter today, I think that's why that's relevant. That's why we're talking about it. Because I don't think without going through those things, we would have come through the way we did in the fourth quarter. And now we have an opportunity to play for a national championship. And I couldn't be prouder of our guys. Couldn't be. But we got to finish this thing. And they know it. They know it because there's so many great stories to be told.
Front row, left side on the aisle.
This is for Will. Nick Michaels, dottingthei.net. What does it feel like? You went your whole career with the whole Texas scenario, and you finally get the win. What kind of emotions are you going through right now, finally getting to beat Texas?
Yeah, you know, that was, you know, a motivation for me, but man, that didn't mean as much, you know, as keeping this team together. And that's all we wanted to do, man. And we talked about that this whole playoffs is we're fighting for another chance to wear this jersey again and to be with this group again. And the thing that, you know, that hurts me about this, the only thing that I wish I could go back and do different about my time here is I wish I had more time. You know, I wish I had more time with Coach Day. I mean, I've gotten so much better because of him and because of Coach Kelly and because of Billy and just being here. I've gotten, to be so close with guys like Jack and guys like Emeka and guys like, Seth and all these guys that, I only have 1 year with them. I wish that I got got a chance to be with these guys longer. And we're trying to draw this thing out as long as we can. And here we are, man. But the job's not finished, and we got to go out there and finish this thing, And it feels great. It feels great to beat those guys, especially, this year. They had a great team, and all the respect in the world for Sark and Quinn and all those guys. They have a great defense, but, man, job's not finished, and they were standing in our way today.
Closing questions now for the Buckeyes here on the front.
Excuse me, Jeff Gilbert, Press Pros Magazine. Will, the Travion's touchdown, what was your expectation of how that play might turn out, first of all, and comment on that, and then, Coach, just what went into that call? So, yeah,
I mean, I don't think anyone thought that was going for 75 yards. I mean, that was trying to set something up. See, that's kind of a drive starter in that 2-minute scenario. And you run that first play, and we did it in the Tennessee game where we come out and we run the ball, and if you get a positive gain, then maybe we can continue to work our 2-minute drill. But when you got a guy like 32 that can make plays like that, I mean, Carson Hinsman made some unbelievable blocks down the field. The receivers, stayed on their guys, and 32 took off, man. And that was a huge play for us, a huge swing. We talk about winning the middle eight all the time, and that was big.
Yeah, I agree with Will. I mean, that was a huge swing, moment in the game. That and Jack's play really were two big moments. I thought the drive that the offense had there when, there was some momentum swings, and we talk about it a lot. When you have momentum, you got to keep it. When you don't, you got to go get it. I felt like we turned that momentum with that long drive. I don't know if it was 16 plays, but it was a bunch of plays. The one that finished with Quinshon's 1-yard run, and then they kind of went down the field. We took a stand there at the 1, and then Jack's return was huge. But the screen, we were laughing a little bit in the locker room, having some fun with it because we do screen drill. And I think sometimes, these guys are like, are we ever going to call a screen? And I actually said to the coaches, I said, we're going to stop doing screen drill because we don't call any dang screens. And so sure enough, what do you want to run? You want to run the ball? You want to take a knee? I said, no, just run the screen. They're like, all right, you sure? Sure enough, it went the whole distance, went for, 75, first play. But Travion has become a 3-down back. Travion is going to be a tremendous pro because not only does he do a good job running the football, but he protects at a high level, and he's a threat with the ball in his hands as a receiver. And that becomes a huge threat, especially when they're looking to take away some of our receivers, in particular Jeremiah. So, hats off to him. But very well executed. The line got out there, and he made a great play because they brought a pressure, and he just got it off, and Travion went down and catch it. I mean, another huge play in the game, yeah.
We will take 2 more questions. This one will come on the middle on the left.
James Tackling to White Right Son. This question's for Coach Day and for Jack Sawyer. Is there kind of a feeling for both of you of this everything coming full circle? Because a little over a year ago, you were sitting here talking about after a really tough loss to Missouri, and here you are. You made the plays now, especially with the fumble recovery for touchdown, the call right there for the screen to finally finish the drill and win yourself a Cotton Bowl.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not finished though. That's not finished. But we did just walk in here and say the same thing. What a difference a year makes. But we're not done yet.
Jack?
I second that.
Okay, we'll take one last question, our final question in the back. Well, we'll say in the middle.
My question is for Coach Day and for Will. Austin Kroomscore on Gray Sports Radio. So that final drive in the fourth, when you guys had about a 6-minute drive, Will, you're down on one knee talking to the guys in the huddle. What did you notice in their eyes? And for Coach, what did you notice in the offense and how calm they looked on that very important drive?
Yeah, I'll just start by saying I felt like we were stopping ourselves on offense with the penalties, and I think that was the conversation that was being had on the sideline and the locker room at halftime. Like we got to stop hurting ourselves with these penalties, because that was frustrating. I felt like we had a good rhythm. We were making some nice plays, executing, okay. Good enough, but then when you get some of these penalties, and they were big penalties, holding, 15-yarders, and that was really getting us, behind the sticks. So we knew we just had to buckle down, and like Will said, they were kind of keeping it in front. When you do that, you got to execute and move the ball all the way down the field. And now that I'm looking at it, it was 13 plays, 88 yards, and took 7:45 off the clock. At that moment, I was getting a little concerned that the defense was getting worn out because we were not on the field very much, and we needed a big long drive, and that's what these guys answered with. And obviously, Will was the leader in the huddle.
Yeah, I second all that. I mean, that was a statement drive, man. And like he said, we'd been beating ourselves. We just knew that we had to, work the game and just continue to just swing and take shots and body blows, man. It wasn't pretty at all times. It was taking some checkdowns. A 4th and 2. Yep. It took a lot. 13 plays, 88 yards. That's we talked about before the game, we're going to have to work this game, and we're going to have to, methodically move the ball down the field. And I'm just so proud of our offense that we were able to, get the game. And we talk about all the time, get the game to the fourth quarter, man, and that's where we'll win it. And we lean back on our training and all that work that we put in, man. That's for that time. And I'm just so proud of our guys, man. The O-line played great on that drive. Guys made some plays, and we were able to punch it in. So that was great.
And like Will said, the third down, I forget what the down and distance was, but we said to him, if we can get this thing to a 4th and manageable, we're going to go for it. And he got it to 4th and 2. Big play. And those are like the little things that, as an experienced guy, you understand, in that moment. And that was huge. And then having the ability to do it with his feet on 4th and 2, we went back and forth and figured, we're going to call this one or not. And he got us into the right call. And then the offensive line did a great job rocking off the ball. And so that was a huge play in the game as well.
Okay. Coach,
Thanks,
Will,
guys.
Jack, thank you for coming. Congratulations on your